We are going to go over Deathtallica, or Deathtallica as it's shortened for. What this guy is, this is the entire purpose of the deck. When this guy is summoned, you put every deep card from your graveyard into his soul. When this card would leave the field, you can discard 3 cards from his soul and put them onto the bottom of the deck to negate that. He is pay 4 gauge to summon, but this is the main purpose of the deck. This is everything. And you can also use this to negate attacks as well. So that means that Penetrate, Spectral Strike, etc. don't go through. If your opponent tries to destroy it, you pay 3. You just pay 3 soul. So this is the entire deck. He's also got Soul Guard and he's got double tap. No, he cannot gain Soul Guard. That is what I meant. That's what I get for looking at cards incorrectly. Here's our buddy. He's 4 size 0s, 2-1-3. And we're running 8 size 0s in this deck because there's 3-1-2 over there. The purpose of all these size 0s is because these sit next to Deathtallica and just help him to win. You'll help clear the path, help clear the way. Also, they're all deep. The only cards in this entire deck that aren't deep are Death Grip and Death Shield. So everything else you're going to see in this deck is deep. Here we have a vanilla 6-1-3, which is fantastic for death. Once again, we are using our old buddy, Death Gaze. You know what he does, except as well as being Black Dragon and Death, he's also deep, which is wonderful. So he works perfectly into the deck. For those that don't know what he does, he's got Spectral Strike 2, which means when he destroys a monster, your opponent takes 2 damage. Here's our size 2s. This guy's 6-2-6, no call cost. And when he enters the field, you send the top 2 cards of your deck into the drop zone. So the idea is to make your drop zone as huge as possible, which allows you to go into Deathtallica and make the largest size 2, or the largest drop zone you possibly can to give him the largest soul. This is 7-2-7, which with no call cost, he's got lifelink 1, is fantastic. He's ridiculously huge. Like 7-2-7 is what you would normally see on a size 3, not a size 2. So this, and also for no call cost as well, that is ridiculous. Into spells now. So 4 Death Grip, destroy opponent size 2 monster. 4 Death Shield, destroy opponent size 1 monster and negate their attack. Wonderful. These are the only 8 cards in the deck that do not have the word deep in their name. 2 Abyss Symphonies, when you're on less than 6. Yeah, less than 6. Pay 1 gauge, draw 2 cards. In case you're wondering why I keep thinking about this, there's a lot of cards that say if you're on less than 5, and there's only a few that say if you're on less than 6, draw 2 cards. So this just, late game helps you draw into Deathtallicas. We're playing 4 of these Axel Ends. That's discard the top 5 cards of your deck into the drop zone, and then gauge 1 card. So that helps you get the additional gauge to summon the Deathtallica, and also helps fill up your graveyard as much as possible, and hopefully try and sit behind an invincible Deathtallica. We have 4 of this Bloody Dance, which is the +3/+3 counter attack for deep. So like I said, this works on every monster in your entire deck. And when you're using +3/+3 counter attacks with guys that have 7-2-7, that becomes 10-2-10, which is ridiculous. This also works with Death Gaze as well. So if you're getting attacked by something small, just feel free to do this, and then they take the Spectral Strike back from it. And it also works with Deathtallica himself. So if the opponent's trying to attack over it, he's only got 3000 defense. That is a nice way to clear opponent's fields. And finally, we are using 4 Devil Stigma. Now in other decks, we've only used 3 Devil Stigma, but the reason we use 4 in this is because, not because you're using a lot more monsters than you are using spells, and this will get you more gauge. The whole purpose of the gauge is really just to summon him, for no other reason. You get out a ton of gauge, because even if the opponent gets over one of these, you want, while he's on the field, you want to be setting up for a second one. And once you get into the second one, the opponent should at that point not be able to stand up against it. Like, the opponent will generally be able to take care of one Deathtallica, but a second or even a third will just cause too much problems for the opponent.